Yo guys, how we all doing? We are back again with another video, and this trick you're about to see, this is so powerful. I know I say this about most of the tricks, but this is truly a powerful effect. It's not a do as I do effect. I think this is a lot stronger than that. So all that being said, let me show you the effect. Okay, so here is the performance, guys. We have a red deck and a blue deck, and both of these cards will be getting shuffled. Both decks are getting shuffled. There is no setup whatsoever. It's truly an impossible miracle, this is. And let me know if this fools you. It might not, but it might. So all the cards get shuffled up, and while I've got the blue cards, we'll start with the blue. So you ask your spectator to think of any two of a kind. So what I mean by that, the two kings, the two jacks, the two sevens, the two threes. It can be truly any two of a kind. So let's say they name the two fives. Just for example, that was the first thing that come to my head. So I saw the five of spades first. So we use the two black fives. But these cards can be truly any two of a kind, what the spectator names. But you hand the cards back to the spectator to shuffle the blue cards up. So nobody knows the order of the blue cards. That's very important. And you're going to ask your spectator to sandwich one card using the two black fives. So I would say to the spectator, pick up a five and place it anywhere you wish. So let's say they place it right here. And then I say, look, you've got one five left. You can either sandwich this card, so you place the five above it and sandwich this one, or you can sandwich this card. It's completely up to you. But let's just say they sandwich this card right here, and everything closes up. Very fair. So the cards have been mixed up. Nobody knows the order. They have just sandwiched one card. And again, these cards can get mixed up. There's no order with this. And do we use the two black fives? Because that's the card I'm going to use again. So black five. Let me see if I've got another black five. This is not a full deck, unfortunately. Have I got a black five? Black five. Oh, yes, I have. Brilliant. I didn't think it were going to work. So two black fives again. So these two black fives are going to try and find out what card they sandwich. By thinking, Brandon, that's impossible. But let's give it a try. So two black fives. All these do is just wave over the blue deck. Okay, it can take up to an hour. I'm joking. It usually happens about now. You can see it actually sandwiches one card. And this card is going to tell me that it sandwiched the four of diamonds. Let's see if that's true. Let's take a look. Two fives have sandwiched one card. Has it sandwiched the four of diamonds? Yes, it has. And that is it, guys. That is the effect. It just seems so impossible. And the thing is as well, there's no setup whatsoever. This is why I love this trick. I could do this again, over and over again, and it's always going to be a different outcome every single time. And I'm going to show you all the cards aren't the same, or there's two of the kind. They are all, it is a shuffled deck of cards. So that's the effect, guys. Do you know what? I'm not going to teach it because I just think it's too powerful. No, I'm joking. Hopefully you're still here. Let me show you exactly how this miracle works. One. Okay, so here's the tutorial of the effect, guys. So we're using a blue deck and a red deck, but one of these decks is gimmicked. You're probably thinking, Brandon, how are they gimmicked? They all look completely normal, which is true. They are all normal cards, but one of these decks is unfortunately marked. Please don't let that put you off that it's a marked deck, because you can do so many cool miracles with a marked deck, and if you guessed, it is this deck right here. This is the Penguin Mark deck. You can buy them for about $5. I've had this deck for years and it's still in amazing condition. So let me just show you the markings, how easy it is to read the markings. So I'm going to show you this card right here. Can you see a marking on there? I'm going to give you a few seconds. It's not a test or anything. Just see if you can see it, because if you can't, when I show you, you will be like, oh my God, that is so easy to read. So the markings are right here. So if you look right here on the left-hand side, you can see like a 7. You go down and there's a club. 7 of clubs. Also, you've got it in the middle of the love heart right here. a 7 of clubs. So I'll do that again just to show you another card, this one right here. See if you can see that card. If I hold it with my thumb. So you've got the 3 of diamonds. And you've got the 3 of diamonds in the middle as well. These cards are super easy to read. When you're doing this to anybody, like a layman, for example, they're not going to think they're marked at all. And you probably didn't think they were marked. And one more card, guys, see if you can get this one right. What card is this? If you said the King of Spades, you are correct. So that's the marked deck. So that's all you need to do this trick. So I think it's self-explanatory how it all works, but I will go through it again with you. So what's going to happen is both the cards can get shuffled up, and you need to start with the blue deck. So I say to the spectator, I want you to name any 2 of a kind. So it could be 2 reds, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What 2 of a kind do you want to use? Let's say, again, they use a 2 red 5s. That's 1 red 5, and that's the other red 5. Then I tell them to shuffle these cards up again so nobody knows the order, which is very important. Because if nobody knows the order, it seems more impossible. So then I spread the card and I tell them to sandwich a card anywhere they wish. So with the 2 red 5s, so let's say they place it here. And they can truly place this 5 right here on top of this card, or they could sandwich this card here. It's completely up to them. It doesn't matter. And when they're placing the cards in, all I'm doing is looking at the marking. And if you think the spectators are going to see it, trust me, they are not. So I'm looking here at the 8 of hearts. That's all I'm looking. It happens super quick. If you watch the performance back, I just put them in, and close the deck. So that's what's going to happen. I close the deck. Make sure you've got 52 cards in here as well, in the red deck. Because if you don't, and for example, if I haven't got the 8 of hearts, I cannot do it. So all I'm doing now is going to take out the 2 red 5s and that 8 of hearts. Okay, so I'm going to go through the deck and I'm looking for that 8 of hearts first. But if I come by it, if I see a red 5, I'm going to up jog it. So I've seen a red 5, but I'm still looking for that 8 of hearts. There we go, and the 8 of hearts is right here. Okay, so all I would do in this example is cut these 2 cards to the top, but to the bottom, sorry. Okay, and take the 2 red 5s out. So the 8 is at the top. But if that 8's in the middle somewhere, so let's do this. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to, if I see a 5, I will put it on the table or up jog it. But when I see that 8, I'm just going to pick it up from the back and cut that to the back. So now it goes to the top. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So basically, it just looks like I'm going through the cards to find the 5s. I didn't do that in the performance, okay? So what I did in the performance is this. So I went through to find the 8, and when I see the 8, I'm going to cull it. And what I mean by cull, it will look like this. So I'm just going to spread through to find the other 5s, and I've culled that card to the top. I'm not going to go through the cull today. If you are interested in learning the cull, I can go through that on a completely separate video. But you don't need to cull the card, okay? Like I said, what you can do is go through, find the first 5, carry on going through. You found the 8, so I'm just going to pick up at the 8, cut them to the back, carry on spreading till I find that other 5. So it just looks like you're finding the 2 red 5s. When you're in that position, you're going to do the basic sandwich move where you get a break above the top card, because that's where the 8 is. You're going to place the 2 5s on top, pick all 3 cards up. Your thumb's going to slide the 5 over, and you're going to get into a normal sandwich position. So the top card comes on top halfway, like sideways, and you're going to pick them both up like so with your index finger and thumb. And all you're going to do is just wave over the cards. And then don't do it slow, you want to do it quite fast. And then just move your thumb. Okay, just move your thumb to the right, like you're pushing the 5 of diamonds to the right, basically. That's all you're going to do. When you give them a shake, it looks like a card appears. And you say, look, it's actually telling me you picked the 8 of hearts. You spread the cards right here. That should be, in fact, the 8 of hearts. And that is it, guys. It is that easy. A very easy trick, but very mind-blowing at the same time. But that, my friends, is a tutorial of the effect. Okay, so here's the tutorial of the effect, guys. So yes, we're using 2 decks of cards, but one of these decks is gimmicked. And don't let that put you off because they are all normal. Well, I would say normal, but like I said, one of them is gimmicked. The gimmick deck out of these 2 is in fact this one right here. It's the blue deck. And why is it gimmicked? It is actually marked. The blue deck is marked. And let me just show you the markings of these cards. So if we take a look at this one right here, if you look right here is the Queen of Clubs. And if you look in the middle of the heart, it's the Queen of Clubs. I'll show you another card right here. So we've got the 7 of Diamonds. If you look in the middle of the heart, 7 of Diamonds. Guys, you know which this one is. Have a look at the marking, see if you can get it right. If you said the 8 of Spades, you are correct. So that's the marking of the deck, and this is how the trick works. You probably gathered now how this all works, but you're going to ask your spectator to name a 2 of a kind. It can truly be any 2 of a kind. So for example, let's say the 2 red 5s. You tell them to shuffle the cards before as well and after, so they've shuffled the cards so nobody knows the order. And it's very important that you say that as well, that nobody knows the order. So what's going to happen is you spread the cards and you tell them to place the 5s in the center, or not into the center, anywhere basically, and sandwich a card. So they're going to take one of the 5s and place it anywhere they wish. And the next 5, you say to them, look, it can go here, so it's on top of this card, or it can be this card here and sandwich that card. It's completely up to them. And while they're doing that and they're sandwiching it, all I'm looking is right at the marking on the side, the 4 of Spades. That's what I can see, 4 of Spades. And then I close everything up. I don't say that to them, okay? I say nobody knows the order, you sandwich one random card. So when I get the red deck, like I said, they can shuffle this deck again if they wish. I'm going to be looking for the 4 of Spades. And how do I do that? Like so. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to find that 4 of Spades. Make sure you've got a full deck as well, because if you don't and you choose the only card, what you haven't got, it's not going to work. So I found the 4 of Spades. I'm going to pick everything up at the 4, so the 4 is right here, and cut them to the back. So now the 4 of Spades is at the top of the deck. So now what I'm going to do is go through and look for 2 red 5s. So let's have a look. There we go, for 2 red 5s. The trick is basically over with. So what I'm trying to say to you is, move them back in the center, is if the 4 of Spades, you need to obviously get that to the top of the deck. But you do it as in you're finding the 2 red 5s. So I would do it, I'd say this. So let me find the 2 red 5s. I found the 4 of Spades. That goes to the top. So the 2 red 5, that's 1 5. And the second 5, I've got one, is right here. Okay. Do that again at speed though, so you can see it. Give it a quick shuffle. Okay, so let me find the 2 red 5s. 2 red 5s, 2 red 5s. Where are you, red 5s? I'm sure I've got 5s in here. Oh, there, that's 1 5. There we go, 2 5s. Okay, that's how I would do it. And then I will give these a full shuffle, keeping that 4 of Spades on the top of the deck. Okay, so I give them a full shuffle, keeping that 4 on top of the deck. The way I did it in the performance, okay, I'll go through it briefly, is I called the card. Okay, so I'm looking for the 4 of Spades, okay, and obviously the red 5. So I'm looking for that 4 of Spades. The 4 of Spades is here. And I call that card, and let me show you what I mean by a call. Basically, the card next to it, so the king, is going to go flush with the 4, okay? And then my fingers at the back is going to pull this card out. So hopefully you can see it. It's going to look like this. I'm going to pull this card out and then carry on spreading. So now that 4 of spades is gliding underneath the deck. Hopefully that does make sense. It's a bit of a tricky move, but I can go in a full tutorial on that on a completely different video. So again, let's say looking for the 2 red 5s. So that's 1 5. Let me find the other 5. Where's the red 5 gone? It's right there. Okay. And I didn't actually call the card this time. That's what I was trying to show you. So 4 of spades. And you do the call as well, if you can do the call. Okay, you're doing the call while you're finding the 5s. Okay, so I found 1 5, I found the other 5, and I carry on going until I found the 4, and I call that to the top. So now I've got the 2 red 5s out and the 4 of spades on top. If you watch the performance back, you will see how it looks at speed. Okay, so like I said, false cuts and false shuffles, keeping that 4 of spades at the top. Then you're going to get into your basic sandwich move. So you're going to get a break above the top card. Okay, or below the top card, shall we say. You're going to drop a 5 on and another 5. You're going to pick all 3 cards up. Your thumb's going to slide the top 5 over. And I push the 5 out again. And this 5 is going to go halfway onto it. Okay, so this is a double card right here. But making sure everything's neat. You're going to pick, that's not neat. Let me do that again at speed, bear with me. So 2 red 5s. And what you're going to do, you're going to pick it up at the bottom of your index finger, like so, and thumb. And all you're going to do is wave your hand and just spread your thumb. And what's going to happen is, you're going to get this. Okay, when you spread your thumb. You do that at speed, it would just look like a card just appears straight between the 2 5s. You take this card out and you show it it's a 4 of spades. You say, well, if the 5 of diamonds has just found the 4 of spades, between the 2 red 5s should be in fact the 4 of spades. And that is it, guys. That is a tutorial. I don't think I need to go through that again just because it is quite self-explanatory, really. Using the mark deck, you know what card you've got. You need to bring their card to the top, sandwich it, the trick's done. So that is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it did for you in the performance. But that is it. Okay, so that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, a very cool falling card trick. The only thing is you need a mark deck. But I'm sure most magicians have a mark deck. If you don't, I highly recommend purchasing one just to do this trick because I just think it's so, so good. But that is it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.